So in the description of every single video I upload, you see that you can follow me on my Mastodon account, or rather my Mastodon account under Mastodon.org. But what on earth is Mastodon? What's Mastodon? And why should I care? Well, essentially it is a free and open source alternative to Twitter. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through how it works, what it looks like, and why you should care. So in order to illustrate how Mastodon works, I want to give you a quick example of how normally you connect to Twitter.com. So you have a normal user, in this case random123, and they connect to the Twitter.com domain. Now the problem with this is let's say random123 gets banned from Twitter, or Twitter.com, the domain itself gets taken down and all the servers, the website just goes under. Well, now random123 has nowhere else to go. There's no other Twitter domain for him to connect to, and thus he has lost all access to Twitter. However, Mastodon does things a little differently. See, with Mastodon, you have this, it's more of a technology, or rather a source code, that other people can use to create servers that users connect to. So here in this illustration, you have the Mastodon cloud that then these people use to create servers through that technology. So Mastodon.social, Mastodon.org, and DistroToot.com. Now these are actual real Mastodon servers that you can go look up and connect to. Now the way this works is you can have one user connect to two different accounts with two different servers at the same time. So user 1 and user 2 are both going to have accounts with Mastodon.social and Mastodon.org. In fact, user 2 actually is connected to Mastodon.org and DistroToot.com, while user 3 is just connected to DistroToot.com for whatever reason. Now the benefit of this is, let's say Mastodon.social goes away. In fact, we're going to click on it here and we're going to delete it. It's gone. It's out of here. Well, that's okay, because user 1 still has an account with Mastodon.org and still has access to the Mastodon sort of social network. Now, if let's say distro2 went away and user 3, well, he was connected to that server, it's okay, because he can still go and create another account with Mastodon.org and just put all his followers or the people he's following on that server. I'll show you how to do that in a little while. But before I get any further, why don't I actually show you the user interface for Mastodon, or rather Mastodon, to get a better idea of what's actually going on here. So before I actually show you the Mastodon server that I'm connected to, I thought I'd give you a quick run through of the actual joinmastodon.org website, the official Mastodon website, in case you haven't seen it before, just to give you a run through of how to actually get set up with this. Now, you may have never heard of this before, but this is actually a pretty well-known organization. It has a whole host of sponsors. A lot of these people, again, you might not have ever heard of before, but this is a established, known community within the people that support and use free and open source software. Now, if you wanted to check out the code for it, again, you just click on code and go into GitHub, and here is everything that's used to create Mastodon itself. And the reason for this is that you can take this code, put it into your own server, name it whatever you want, and let people connect to it, or don't, and just use it to follow other people. It's really up to you with how you use it. So to get started, you just hit the Get Started tab, and from here you choose a category of servers you want to connect to. So let's say you're a member of the LGBTQ plus community. You might want to join a server based on that. If you're interested more in technology, if you're watching this video, you can then join one of these many servers. Some of them request an invite. That just depends on who's ever running the server. They might not just let anybody join, and that's again entirely up to them. Now, Mastodon is the one that, of course, I'm connected to, and to join, all you have to do, hit join, and then you create an account, and that's it. You're done and good to go. And if you wanted to, let's say you weren't quite sure, right? You're not 100% certain that you want to join Mastodon, maybe like ruby.social, a little bit more, and you want to know a little bit about each server before you actually go and create an account with them. Well, you can go ahead and click this and view the directory. This is the people that are actually signed up with this server, and you can go ahead and check them out. So for example, if I wanted to look at this guy right here, I can click on his account and view everything he's tweeted, or tooted, I'm sorry. With Mastodon, you toot, you don't tweet. Everything he's tooted, everything he's boosted, or rather retweeted. Things are called a little bit different here on Mastodon, but they essentially do the same thing. You can even view the people that he's following to get an idea of who you should follow when you create your accounts. So it's actually pretty straightforward and really easy way to get started. So enough talking about this. Let me actually show you what Mastodon, at least the server I'm good, what my account looks like. So this is Mastodon, the server that I'm connected to using the Mastodon technology. Now, as you can see, it looks a lot like Twitter, only less crowded. I haven't used Twitter in a long time, but if I recall correctly, there's a whole bunch of garbage in there with different people to follow and things that are trending and news garbage, and there's none of that with this. It's just the people that you follow all lined up here with a bunch of other stuff on the side. You have the ability to toot over here, and you can just do toot. In fact, here, let's do a little example. This is a toot. Hit toot. And then it shows up right there on your public timeline. Now, the options for this are actually pretty extensive. Let's start with this. Let's start with the search. Let's say you just gone on here and you don't know who to follow. In fact, you know what? We're not even going to do that. You don't know anything about Mastodon or technology, ruby.social, any of the servers that you've connected to. You have no idea who's on them. You didn't go out and check the directory. You don't know who to follow. Where do you get started? Well, right here with local. This shows you, like with the directory, everybody that's on the server. Not just the people that are on there, but the things that they have tooted. So for example, this guy, Fat Boy, is talking about how data algorithms and data are used to influence you. I actually follow him. He's a pretty good person to check out. Sorry about that. You have several other people. You can just, like before, you can just click and check them out and see if there's someone you actually want to follow. But let's say you don't just want to see people on the Mastodon server. You want to see others that are on all servers that are available under Mastodon. Well, that's where the federated kicks in. This shows you, and I'm not exactly sure how they're curated. I think it's just the latest toots that have been made from people, all over Mastodon. So you see mastodon.social, bots in space, social.beepboop.ga, bots in space.com again, brightodon.social, whole bunch of different accounts from a whole bunch of different people from different servers. So this just kind of gives you a wider idea of what other accounts you may want to follow. Like with Twitter and many other sites, there are also direct messages that you can do. You can send a direct message. I think you go into the actual user, and then you go through there and send them a direct message, and then that would pop up in the direct messages tab of the server you're connected to. You can have favorites, so if you wanted to favorite a toot and be able to look at it later, like with bookmarking on Reddit, and I believe also on Twitter. Again, I haven't used it in a while, but it's the exact same idea. Now, the preferences is actually where things get really interesting, because normally with Twitter, like I mentioned before, you're kind of just stuck with using twitter.com. If that domain goes under, if all the servers catch fire, all the whole world and Twitter goes away, you lose access to it forever. But here, under the settings, you actually have the ability to take all the people you're following and just move them over to another server. Now, to do that, it's really easy. You just click on import and export. You download a CSV file. We're going to call this test. Click save. And there you have a full file that you can use to take and move to another server. Now, let's say that's not the only thing you want to move. Let's say you want to move the people that are following you, media storage, all the toots you've done, domain blocks, everything here, and you don't want to have to manually download and then export and then import them onto your new server. Well, that's where the account kicks in. You can go in, let me get rid of that here. You can go in here, and with the help, you can move your information to another account, or if you're going from another account to here, there's a help with that as well. So you click configure here, you put in the handle for your new account, the password for this account, and it moves everything over. Same thing with moving from a different account. You just say the handle of the old account, which creates an alias, and then you walk through the instructions to help you move from the old account to this one. You also, of course, have the option to delete this account entirely if you don't want to use it anymore. So that was a brief overview of Mastodon.com and how it works and why you should care, and really that's for flexibility. Like I'm saying, if Twitter were to go down for whatever reason, the website gets taken down, all the servers get destroyed, you lose access to Twitter. But here with Mastodon, that's not the case. If Mastodon.org got taken down, you can just join Mastodon.social, distro2.com, or any of the other servers that I've shown you here today. Now, the one thing I'll say is that when I got started with Mastodon, I had absolutely no idea who to follow. I was completely lost. So what I'm going to do is on my GitLab account, I have a link for it in the description, I'm going to upload actually I've already uploaded the CSV file for the people I'm following that you can take and import onto your own server to kind of give you a good baseline to get started. You can add on from there, delete the ones you don't like, or do whatever you want with it. So really quickly, before I go, I wanted to show you how to actually download the file. So if you click on the link in the description, you will be taken to this GitLab page. And all you have to do is click on the Mastodon project, which will automatically take you to the file you need. And there's the .readme, and I'll go over it in another video how GitLab works and how it's a little different than GitHub. But what I have to do then is click on the Mastodon following accounts, then simply download the file, and then you go put it wherever you want, save, and then you can take that file and put it onto whatever server it is you're connected to, and you'll have all of these accounts to get you started with your new Mastodon server. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and more importantly, I hope that you have a wonderful day. See you.